Hey there, my friend. How are you? How are things going? I hope you are well. Last weekend, I held my first event, Minimize to Maximize for Your Mental Well-Being, online through a Facebook group. And we had so much fun interacting with one another. There are a few of you that were able to attend, and just so grateful for you for being there. And for those of you who missed it, I still have the recordings up. If you're on Facebook, I'm going to put a link at the in the show notes so that you can join the group if you would like. Um, you are welcome to come on in. Um, I'm probably going to keep the group active and pop in there for tips and tricks with organization. So I would love for you to join us. I would love for you to be there. And it's a great way for you to let me know that you have been listening to the Organize with Grace podcast and just to have some time to interact and let me know that, hey, I'm here. I would love to hear from you. And I mostly want to personally thank you for listening and continuing to listen to Organize with Grace. And I hope that in the future that you and I will be able to meet through these challenges, that 3-day challenges. I may be doing another one. I'm not quite sure yet. There is a huge transition in my life that I want to let you know about within this episode. And so I hope you tune in or continue to tune in. I have been wanting to talk more about mental health in this podcast because I believe that organization or disorganization really, really impacts our mental and emotional well being. And I wasn't sure how to bring this up to you about what is happening with me personally. And because my initial thought when it comes to the Organize with Grace podcast is that I want to bring episodes that will benefit you. I want to bring episodes that will help you and encourage and inspire you. So it was a bit of a struggle, wondering how I should speak with you and let you know what is happening in my neck of the woods without it sounding like it's all about me kind of thing. So I hope that it doesn't come across that way, and that I hope that you will come away with some good things that you can apply for yourself. And as I was reflecting on how to share, I just realized that, hey, share from the heart. That is the message that I got within. So I will share from the heart. Welcome back to Organize with Grace podcast. Do you feel like you're always struggling to get it together? Do you feel like you're burning the candle at both ends? Feeling completely disorganized in your home and life? That it's starting to affect you mentally and emotionally? Well, you've come to the right place if you need encouragement, easy and simple organization tips, or you just want to know that you're not alone in this season of life. Hi, I'm Grace Ramon, your fellow working mom and professional organizer. I believe in you, friend. You can get it together. Now let's get organized. Let me first give you a backstory about what inspired me to begin the 3-day declutter challenge. And as of April 29th, I am no longer employed at the agency that I have been at for the past 18 years. I resigned. I gave my letter of resignation on April Fool's Day, April 1st, 2022, except it wasn't a joke. I wish it was, but it wasn't. What happened a few days before that was what I had told you on another episode where I applied for a position that was going to be a promotion within the same agency and found out through the grapevine that I was coming up against one other colleague who had been there. She's great. Nothing against her. She had been there for, I think, 10 years or so. And I had been there for 18, like I mentioned, and they chose her. They chose her. So during that, I really struggled with that decision. And I didn't think I was going to have such a hard time with it. But it felt like a, well, I'm going to be honest, it felt like a slap in the face. It felt like a slap in the face because I really was qualified for that position, more than qualified. And I didn't get chosen for the job. And I know that I could have done a great job with it. And this has happened more than once within this agency where I had applied for two other positions that I felt I qualified for and didn't get them. And I saw that others with lesser experience had gotten the jobs that I had applied for. So you can see how the seeds of doubt and rejection and even anger started to be planted in my heart about this place. And if you want to look back at, if you'd like to know more about the nature of my job as a service coordinator, go ahead and take a listen to episode 39 titled Unveiling the Impact of Workplace Burnout and How to Take Action, where I interviewed an ex-colleague of mine about our experience, actually his experience about burning out on the job. And sadly, that's where I ended up, which resulted. There are many circumstances or several circumstances that occurred before I quit my job. But that is a huge part of it is being so burned out. And I tried and tried to push through with doing this job. And there was nothing left in me that would like to or can continue. And I thought that applying for another position, maybe it would have it what I was thinking was it will help me continue on. It will help me have a, a fresh start per se because it is a different type of position. But it didn't work out that way. I had personally felt that, like other agencies, they have their favorites, and there's nothing I can do about that. And I struggle to tell you all about this because I don't want to come from um, a heart that is um, not healed, a heart that is hurting, because I don't want to bring that type of atmosphere to this podcast. But I also want to be real. I also want to be real with you with what I'm feeling because I that is a huge um, element of Organize with Grace is just being real with life and not sugarcoating what is going on with us when life feels messy, which is most of the time, and when life feels overwhelming. And for me, work life became overwhelming and it started to really affect my emotional and mental health. And for Mental Health Awareness Month, which is this month in May, I wanted to be open about what I'm going through and to let you know that struggling with mental health is something that has become so common and yet not talked about enough. So I'm grateful for Mental Health Awareness Month, and I'm grateful that I get to talk about it with you. And I hope that this brings up more conversations about it, because I still feel that mental health is something that is a taboo, maybe less of a taboo nowadays compared to maybe 10 to 20 years ago. Um, but still, in my culture, in the Filipino culture, mental health is something that is that is mostly not talked about, mostly dismissed, and I believe it's due to the stigma that it brings. It's due to many things. I think that's the number one thing. There's shame involved when it comes to talking about or bringing out in the open when someone is having in mental health concerns, because the misconception is that because you are having some mental health struggles that you automatically have a mental illness. And then if you do have a mental illness or a mental illness, uh, if you have a diagnosis, then even more, that those who um, have a diagnosis will be shunned or shamed for it within the Filipino culture. Now, I don't aim to speak for in representation of my culture, but that is simply an observation that I've had through the years. So, going back to why I quit my job, I quit my job because of the emotional and mental toll that it's had on me. The workload was so unbelievably stressful, even before the lockdown back in March 2020. Even before that, we have been overloaded with work. And one of the things that upset me about my agency is that they addressed it as compassion fatigue. And while that may be true, now what is compassion fatigue, you say? The medical definition is let me go back, the physical and mental exhaustion and emotional withdrawal experienced by those who care for sick or traumatized people over an extended period of time. And it says here, unlike burnout, which is caused by everyday work stresses, compassion fatigue results from taking on the emotional burden of a patient's agony. Now, that may be true, but truly, it's straight up burnout. It is straight up burnout when You are overworked past your 40 hours a week, doing all the things and trying to keep up with documentation and trying to keep up with all the workload that has been placed on you for an extended amount of time. And that's when I felt upset that they only saw what we were going through as compassion fatigue. Now, I'm not minimizing compassion fatigue. It happens. It's real. But in our situation, in my situation, working for this agency, it was straight up burnout. Okay. All right. Now, before I rant and rave, that's not my purpose here. My purpose here is that I what exactly about mental health do we need to have awareness about? And for me right now, and me telling you a little bit about my story and my current experience, and is that mental health matters just as much as our physical health and our emotional well-being. I mean, that ties into mental health, but it matters just as much as the physical parts, our physical needs, our physical health. And a lot of times we don't realize how integrated we are as human beings, and that our um, mental wellness needs also have to be focused on in order for us to continue to function well, right? Our thoughts, our emotions, they should not be stuffed and dismissed, especially when we're going through some things that that are quite traumatic, or even if they're not, some are small traumas. And I felt that a lot with my job, the small daily traumas of having to do 20 million things all at once, is really taxing on the brain. So for this one episode, I just want to tell you that if you are feeling stressed out, or if you're feeling emotionally drained, or your mind feels like it's going to burst, take care of your mental health. Now, I understand that not everybody, even though we want to, not everyone can just up and quit their jobs so that they can take care of their mental health. But what I would like for us to do is to begin to recognize that it is important. It is important to be aware of our need to have mental wellness, of our need to focus on our mental health. And number two, and that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to reach out to a trusted friend, or to reach out to a therapist, a counselor, a coach, to help you along. Because if we get so stuck in our heads and we think that, oh, I can just handle this on my own, I can do this on my own, let me tell you that you can't. I can't. I needed a community of people, and I currently need a community of people that will help me along, that I can lean on and depend on to hear me out. And I love that song with lean on me, right? The words go something like, lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. For it might be, wait, it says, for it won't be long till I'm going to need somebody to lean on. And those words are so true. Those words hit hard for me. Because for me, who loves to achieve, who is independent, it's hard. It's hard to help. It's hard to ask for help, but it's important to know that there is help available. And right now, for me, as I am focusing on healing, as I'm focusing on um, moving forward in a way that I don't operate from a hurt heart, because I believe that that when you as in we, when we're not healed, when we have not dealt with the heart issues that we have, it comes out sideways. It comes out um as anger. It comes out, a lot of it comes out as anger. It comes out in our emotions. We may end up saying or doing something wrong, hopefully not, towards other people, or it just comes out sideways. That's what I found when we have not dealt with the heart issues of what we are going through. So I don't know if I can talk about what I'm going through as it happens. Um, but I'll try. I'll try, but I wanted to let you know that this is what I'm going through, and this is the transition, the huge transition I'm making, and into what feels like the unknown. Um, I'm currently working with a counseling ministry that is helping me get equipped um, with being able to, number one, um, get healed within, right? And then number two, to provide me with the tools to help others. And I really believe that it will really benefit my future clients. Not that we're always going to, talk about mental health and psychological things. There are those clients of mine that simply, hey, I just need your help getting started, and that's totally cool too. We don't need to get all deep into everything, but I think that um, me going through what I'm going through will really help others in the long run as I'm facing this head on. And I hope that it's helping you to maybe more become more open, of course, to trusted friends, right? To counselors, to therapists about what you may be going through as well mentally. So that's what's going on with me currently. I would like to record more episodes this month, maybe a couple more, as I'm considering this as the mental health series this month. And hopefully, I can record some more episodes as I'm trying to adjust to this new new life that I have. And I need to mention my husband because I want to I want to point out how grateful I am with him being as my number one support through this, and he's seen me through my ups and downs, and he's seeing me through all of it. So I'm so grateful for him. And now I want to end by focusing on you. Do you have um, that partner? And if not, that's okay. If you, I'm hoping that you have someone, you have a good friend, a good relative, a trusted person that you can turn to. It just you just need that one um, or two, people that will check in on you and see how you're doing, because We can all walk around with a mask, acting like everything's fine. But hey, if everything's fine on your end, oh, that is wonderful. Enjoy it, celebrate it. I'm telling you, you're like, well, I guess I'm doing fine, and it's good. It's good. Don't look for something wrong if there isn't anything, with your life. I'm not saying that, okay? But when the storms come, even the storms that occur between our ears, in within our heart, it's good to have a trusted person to talk with, and it's good to seek out a therapist, a counselor, a coach as well. So I will leave you with that for now, and will I will leave it at this for now and continue with upcoming episodes about the meaning of mental health awareness, um, for you and me. Until then, take care and be blessed. Hey, real quick, if you enjoyed today's episode, the best way to thank me is by leaving an iTunes review. If you're listening to me right now on your iPhone, simply scroll down, click write a review within the podcast, and voila, you'll get a chance to click 5 stars and type in how the podcast has helped you. You can also access iTunes on your computer if you're not an iPhone user by downloading the iTunes app. Also, I offer virtual organizing, and that means we get to hop on Zoom together wherever you are, and I can help you organize your space for a fraction of a price that you would spend hiring an in-person organizer. Contact me by email, hello@organizewithgrace.com, so you and I can get started. I offer a free 15-minute assessment to see if we're a good match to work together. So get on it, girl. Stop being stuck on your organizing journey. I'll help you walk forward so you can finish that organizing project that you've been procrastinating on. No judgment here. Done it myself, but you know what I'm talking about, girl. All right. Can't wait to talk to you. Bye.